Smith. I want to thank Mr. Fish personally. We've only actually, I think, had the pleasure of meeting twice on a one-on-one basis. But I relish the fact that I have him trapped tonight in the room. We are all thankful for what bicyclists bring to Clermont and South Lake County. There's no question it's an economic driver. There's no question it's a great sport and good for your health. I should take some of my own advice. That being said, some people in the room don't have bicycles. But I venture to say every single person in this room has an automobile. And they obviously live in the immediate area or they wouldn't be in this room tonight. I ask Mr. Fish and this council, again, to please put pressure wherever it's appropriate to get Highway 27 reduced to 2 lanes of truck traffic going through Clermont. There is nothing worse, aside from maybe being behind a pack of bicyclists going up Sugarloaf Mountain, than being behind 3 18-wheelers abreast from one end of Clermont to the other.
It's been requested to turn.
I know it has been. We got the man in the room tonight that maybe can point us in the right direction to get a better answer. So, Mr. Fish, that's my challenge to you. And I hope that you accept it. And if the council is going to write some sort of resolution, I would really encourage you to think about including something about restricting 18-wheelers through Clermont to 2 lanes only on 27. Thank you.
You crashed one yesterday on Hunt Street.
Harry Mason, 3667 Caladacy. That was an excellent presentation, by the way, and I'd like to come back a little bit closer than 2040. I moved in Heritage Hills, and I'm here not as a Heritage Hills representative, but as an individual. I moved in a little over 5 years ago, and it took me 5 minutes to get to the Publix, going out Hancock Road. There was construction here this week which shows what Hancock is going to be for some time in the future, and it's going to get much worse. It took me 25 minutes to make a left-hand turn there this week with the construction. It normally, my 5 minutes going to Public has now increased on normal days. If I don't hit it when the school buses are there, to 15 minutes. There is money set aside by Lennar for a pro rata share of a traffic light to go there. So Heritage Hills can make a left turn out, and into Kings Ridge they can make a left turn in there when the statistics. I was on the Highway Safety Commission in Northern Virginia, and we follow the same federal standards. And I refreshed my memory with them today, and there are a lot of criteria, like elderly people in the area, lack of lighting, school children, pedestrians. And I've basically been told until somebody dies at the intersection, we're going to get a traffic light there. I believe the 8 criteria are sufficient that we could qualify for one now.
Who would pay for it?
The developer will pay a pro rata share. What the pro rata share is for that,
They're gone.
pardon?
They are gone.
No, Lennar's still there, Heritage Hills.
No, Lennar's still around.
I mean, they're not in Kings Ridge or Heritage Hill. Well, they're still in Heritage Hill.
They're in Heritage Hills, and they have a pro rata share. I've been told it's a token amount. I have never seen that. But as residents there, as a resident, I'm anxious to get something done so they don't turn that over to the HOA. There are other people that have equities there. You have another development that comes into that right of way that could also make contributions toward that.
Mr. Mason, can I just ask you, you're talking about a light at the intersection of Heritage Hills Boulevard and Hancock Road.
Right, and it's in the conditional use permit.
Okay.
At the time, as for the time that it's warranted. So I'm asking the city's cooperation in punching whatever buttons to get some surveys done to look at that. It may be appropriate to make a resolution to do that, or you may already have that done.
No, I was just going to add, it's the Hancock Road is the jurisdiction of the county, so we can make a request up to the county to, look at that intersection.
NPO would make that traffic study for the council.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So they would, yeah, they would have to actually be the one that actually approves the light at that location, but we can do that if you would want us to look at it.
Okay, because I think it is needed, and clearly it's going to get much worse in the future. Thank you.
Charlie Harrison, 4th, 939 West DeSoto Street, Clermont, Florida. I'm here to give you a report, since we had a resolution about the bears. Hope Lamb is not here tonight because this was too emotional for her, and I'm hurt for her. I went out there Saturday, out at Astor, and I stayed till 10 o'clock at night with her and the ex-mayor, Al Turtle, and two other people. And I was very proud of Hope because she can't even see a dead animal, and if anybody's gone on the Facebook page and looked, and her trying to stand there and document it was the hardest thing she ever had to do. And me being a 4th generation Floridian, this broke my heart, but I want y'all to know this was a bloodbath. It was nothing but a trophy hunt. And I'm very glad that this city, I will be speaking later tonight on not something so nice, but you need to be commended when you do something good. And for us to stand the only people and make a resolution about this, these were beautiful animals. The last 3 that I got to see at 9:45, they came in and we thought it was over. And number 13, 14, and 15, they were all stacked up on top of each other in the bed of a truck. The one on top was 540, I believe, I might be wrong, 520 pounds. And in rigor mortis, and their limbs sticking out everywhere. Everybody had to see this on the highway. And it just looked like a cattle slaughter. I mean, I didn't break down until I got home because I had to stay strong for Hope. And I was just so proud that she documented this for the state of Florida, and it will go on. And I don't know if anybody heard the news in the past day or so, and they're talking about gearing up for this being a bear hunt every single year. And we heard about baiting them out there in private property. People obviously baited them for days, and they killed them in the backyard. The bears I saw come in, and what they were saying, were so deep in the woods, these bears never bothered anybody. Nor were they ever coming out. So it's tragic, but you did the right thing. And I'm thanking you for her because she cannot be here tonight to do this. Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Ana Lamont, and this is my son Jacob Cortez. We live at 294 Linden Street, Clermont, Florida. I want to just kind of piggyback off of what the presenter was talking about in school crossing guards. It's kind of a very near and dear subject to me. My son has to cross Highway 50 from East Avenue every morning and every afternoon to get to school. And from school, he's been hit almost 3 times. I've been told by the Clermont Police Department that they did a study, and it doesn't warrant a crossing guard. There's about 13 children that cross that road every day, morning and afternoon. And are we waiting for somebody to get hit? Are we waiting for one of our children to be killed on that road? My son was standing on the sidewalk getting ready to step off because he had the crossing guard, the crossing sign, and a car turning off of 50 onto East Avenue came by and clipped the sidewalk, almost hitting my son. So I am late every single morning to work by about 30 minutes because I work in Orlando, because I will not let him walk. I drop him off in the school every morning. And he is forced to call me as the minute he crosses 50 and he's safe on the other side, because it scares the heck out of me. And I don't know how many other parents are here that live on our side of town that are crossing that road. That road is so important to the city that they put a red light camera there. But it's not important enough for them to have school crossing signs even. There's not one single sign advising drivers that there are children crossing that road. And I understand they're middle schoolers. Yep, my kid is almost as tall as I am. He is 11 years old. And he is responsible enough to cross that road with no assistance, but it's the drivers that are texting, it's the drivers that are not paying attention, and if you don't have a child that goes to either the elementary school or the middle school down East Avenue, they have no clue that there's even a school down there.
Is there a pedestrian crosswalk on Highway 50 there?
Yes, there is, and there is a light, I mean, a crossing, whatever.
For what time of the day do they?
If you want, do you want me to explain what happened? Is that, you know, if you remember a couple of years ago, Lake County schools cut their transportation budget and they left a 2-mile radius around each of the schools to be what they call parent responsibility. If you remember, the city stepped up, and actually we do have crossing guards on Highway 50, but it's only for the elementary school, you know, the children. And I understand what she's talking about, because the middle schools, they will start to 9 or something like that, and then the high schools, you know, they're earlier. For us, we just don't have the resources to do that, because that comes back on the city. So it's something that when the school board cut back on their transportation budget, they left the cities open, you know, to provide additional services. So we've done it for.
Did the school board transportation department make an exception to those children who live on the west side of 27?
And they've actually put in, I had Jim look at this today, the parents can actually pay a fee to actually, I don't know how it all works, I just heard about this, to have their kids, you know, somehow to get their kids into the school, but none of that comes back to the city. So the only thing that we provide is we do have crossing guards on Highway 50 at a couple locations, but for the elementary.
The guards that are there, are they on duty police officers or
Well, they're actually
volunteers?
I don't know, Chief, are they police officers or crossing guards?
Crossing
guards. If the crossing guard is not there, they call in or something, our police officers do it. But for the elementary hours, school hours. And I feel the pain for you. And we have been talking to the school board about this as well, but actually they have thrown it back on the cities to take care of. And it's tough.
Right, and being somebody, I grew up in Clermont, I've been here since 1988. So for me to watch this city grow the way it has and to be so connected, I mean, his middle school was my high school, for crying out loud. And I used to I've been crossing 50 since I was in, I don't know, middle school. And it was safe. We used to have shaving cream fights at Pizza Hut. Yeah, the light at Bloxham used to flash red at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And now, you know, I've been very proud to have my son grow up in the same town that I grew up in. And I'd like to see him go on to college and not have an accident on 50 because we can't afford to put a crossing guard where so many of our children do cross. So I just, I told him he was going to have to speak and he almost killed me. But I thought it was important. I want you guys to see one of the faces. And I watch these kids. I even, when I walk my dog across the street sometimes to take him to school, and I will stop people because they don't pay attention. They don't pay attention when they're in a hurry trying to turn onto East Avenue or off East Avenue onto 50. So I hope you guys consider this, and I don't know what else to do as a mom, concerned parent, besides call the news, call the media, call anybody that'll listen to me, which is why I'm here tonight.
Have you attended the school board meeting and brought this up?
I've actually been in very close contact with Mr. Dodd, and he has been helping, and he has been, I know he's speaking with somebody about putting signs and stuff like that out, and I told him I will do everything I can on my side, and I'm pretty outspoken, and
You know, Darren, if the county school board could put a flashing light at Hancock and Hook Street, they could certainly do it on 50 and East.
I can talk to the supervisor.
I would just wonder that, I know in large cities, they have the actual pedestrian crossing light as part of your traffic light, so that you have time, and it shows a body, you know, in the light. And whether it would be possible to have that kind of light
have
put in
one of those.
at that, it does show.
oh yeah, it's not.
Says people don't pay any attention to
They
it.
run the red light, and then think about how many people are texting on their phones and not paying attention.
Well, that's not the fault of the city.
No,
It's the
I
fault
understand.
of people who are completely inconsiderate.
Right, the problem isn't so much people going straight on 50, it's people turning off of East Avenue and turning onto East Avenue. So if you're heading into Orlando on 50, people are making right turns onto East Avenue, and if you're heading, or they're coming from Clermont Middle, they're turning onto Highway 50, and they don't, you know, if they have a red light, they stop and they pause for a second and then they go, because you can make a right on red.
Should we put no right turn on red? There's a lot of spots.
I don't know if there's, I think they're,
That's one of the,
Yeah,
those
I'm
things
looking
we
at
have
that, see what
to
the
challenge
policy
that,
well,
don't we?
just maybe some volunteers.
or just a little sign that says school crossing zone.
There's a lot of signs there now. Are the crossing guards paid like a minimum of 4 hours per day or anything like that? Are they flat out?
4 hours a day.
Are they working a full 4?
Pretty much, yes. In the morning, between the morning and afternoon.
Well, I guess I was wondering if, say they were 4 in the morning from there, if the crossing guard from Loxham at the end of the elementary hours could just go down the street for the 13 kids around it, just an idea, so you
But
didn't
it's-
pay somebody.
Well, there's one there in the morning for the elementary school kids that are, I forget the name of that elementary, but right across from, yes, there was, right across the Clermont, from Clermont Middle, there is the elementary. So there is one in the mornings to help the elementary school kids cross, but if they could just extend it for the middle schoolers in the morning and in the afternoon, you know,
Food transportation.
yeah.
Well, like I said, they've thrown it back at the cities. The thing with that is that there's an hour difference between the time that elementary school starts versus middle school, and that's.
They're paying the rate for full guard.
But anyway, we'll look.
But it's that they're being paid for 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon,
Correct.
am I correct? So that, in essence, you'd be requiring them to stay an additional 4 hours if you're going to cover the middle school kids as well.
And we were
Am I
also
correct?
told, yeah, we were also told that this is an even bigger problem, because if they were to put a crossing guard at Clermont and, or 50 and East, then other middle schools around the county would want crossing guards. And there are no crossing guards funded for middle school at this point.
No.
So it's kind of a huge, it's become a huge fight. That's why I think the signage was kind of important, and just putting a sign that at least says crossing guard. There's a red light sign there. I mean, that if you run the red light, you're gonna get charged $200 and whatever it is. But there's nothing advising that there's a school crossing zone.
I think again, that's something we can address with the county, to at least put up those signs, and let's see what happens.
That would be wonderful, and I know many, many parents would be very thankful. So thank you for your attention, and
Thank you.
For being here.
Is there anyone else that would like to address us this evening? And the public comments? Okay, reports? Mr. Gray?
Actually, I just have one thing. One, we had a great triathlon this weekend, so just want to say that we're great for it. It's the 25th year. Fred Summers did an amazing job down there. Went to like 2 or 3 in the morning. But I do want to welcome back Councilmember Diane Travis. She made it, she 4th place in the World Duathlon Championships, and she was down in Australia. So she represented the whole country. So welcome back. That's all I have.
Mr. Manzares?
No report, Madam Mayor, thank you.
Mr. Bates?
Just one quick comment. I mentioned a few weeks ago that the Lake County put together a water safety advisory committee. And I just want to let you know that I have been appointed by the Lake County Commission, and it's a 1-year term ending next October.
And what is the title?
It's the Lake County Water Commission Water Safety Advisory Committee.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes, yes, everyone realizes that Saturday night is Halloween night, and the Historic Village will be open that night for, we have a bunch of kids that come in there every year, so we have fun handing out candy and all to them, and I know we're doing it here in this, in the business district downtown, and as well, the Methodist Church is, has the trunk or treat thing going on down in their parking lot, so there's going to be plenty of candy for the kids, if they know where to go for it. I have left a copy at each council member's desk and given one to the chief of another article about police body cameras and what they do for a city and what they do for the police officer. We have traffic from all places around in Florida coming through on 27 and 50. And I don't think our police officers have the protection that they should without the cameras. I know I would not want to be a police officer and step out of my car when I pull someone over. And I just think we've got to protect our officers. And the way the citizenry of the USA are treating police officers now is practically criminal as far as I'm concerned. And I think we need to show more respect for our police officers than we are. And I think we ought to do this to protect our city as well. Our city can get a bad reputation for a police officer being accused of abusing a person. And with the cameras, you protect yourself from that. I think our police chief has well-trained officers working for him, and I don't think that would happen here. But that doesn't stop someone accusing a police officer of abuse. So I think we need to move forward with it as fast as we can. And even though it's not in our budget item, I think we have a reserve that could help fund that this year and partial for next year. Thank you.
Mr. Mullins?
Well, I was going to, Mr. McGinn, I think, didn't the chief start to do an analysis of cost? Did he?
Yes, and actually, we're going to bring that to the council at a workshop.
Okay, good. Yes, the triathlon was very good, but there was also the Greater Clermont Chemistry Foundation Music Festival down at Waterfront Park. Everybody needs to get one of these little paper calendars because there's so many events that they won't fit in your telephones. You know, between the food truck rallies, the haunted run downtown, the trunk retreats, the downtown Clermont Art Festival, which is 2 days, November 6th and 7th, the Chambers Taste of South Lake. It's non-stop things to do for the citizens of Clermont and all the visitors who are coming down from north to visit. So I would encourage you, come on out of your house, go down and support the local charities, support the local businesses, and there's a lot of fantastic entertainment and things to do here in Clermont. Have a really good time.
Ms. Travis?
Two things. I'd just like to give a shout out to the police department. I got numerous calls from the athletes that competed Saturday about how they never felt safer at all the intersections. They said, you guys did a great job. You're out there forever. And they were very, very happy. They said it was the safest they ever felt. So thank you. And then I want to ask the mayor, now that budgets are over, I'd like to relook at starting that youth council. Mr. Manzares had pulled up some information on it, and I think it would be really good for us to have that.
Not only that, there had been an article in the magazine several months ago where I had torn it out and given it to the city manager in reference to having a youth council, affiliated with our city council. And certainly something that we are going to look at. Great. And don't we have something planned even already?
Yes, we've actually already started researching it.
Yeah.
Mr. Kinsler's taken on that project, so he's...
Oh, now we know we were playing. See, he didn't leave you out. Okay. I guess I kind of have busy weeks every week. But representing all the cities in Lake County, I attended the Central Florida Leadership Congress in Orlando on the 16th. And there were reports made about the Florida Partnership trip to Washington, D.C., young